Okay, and welcome to my next guide for World of Warcraft. I'll show you a few more gameplay techniques today. Alright, so I just need a hand in the quest. Okay, and I'll probably want to choose some gear. Then it tells me my inventory is full, which means my bags, I've got no more room. So we need to find a vendor. Now, if you have a look at your mini-map, you'll see a little spyglass. You can look there, and you can see where repairs are, where you can get your gear repaired, where you can get food and drink, regions, we'll cover this one later, where you can find an innkeeper. Now, if you have a look at your bags, you start with a hearthstone. Now, once an hour, you can hearth back to your city, or town, or inn that you've selected. So you may need to find an innkeeper, and you can change your hearthstone. You can find all sorts of stuff here. There we go. So let's see, we want to sell stuff, so we look for food and drink. And there's no food and drink vendors around, so we'll try repair. There we go, and you'll see these little yellow dots come up. We need to go to one of these guys. Okay. Now, see, he has all this stuff we can buy, and I've got stuff I want to sell. Okay. Now, if we have a look at what let's bring this up as well. If you press C for character, it shows you what you're currently wearing. And you can also have a look at reputation, again, we'll cover that later, and skills. I'll look at that later for you. So, let's see what we have to sell. Okay, so we have some legs. Now, I'm currently have better pants on, so that's something I can sell. Okay, I've got no braces on, so I want to wear that. So we go back here and we right click. You watch this. We right click, and there you go, you're now wearing the braces. Okay, let's see. What I'm doing here is if you press shift while your mouse is hovering over an item, it shows you what you're currently wearing and what you're looking at. And if it's better, of course you'll want to replace it with what you're currently wearing. Okay. That's pretty much it. Alright, so we sell what we don't need. Okay. Every time you sell something to a vendor, you get a little bit of gold or silver or copper, depending on what level you are and the value of the item. Okay, now, alright, now, I would like to now show you about class trainers. So I'm just going to hand in this quest, select a pair of boots that are better. Okay, and there we go. Alright. Now, I've got to remember how to find this guy. There we go. Okay. Now this is a class trainer. A class trainer is where you want to go to learn new spells and abilities, etc. So providing you have enough money or gold, you can train. So we want those. Okay, so once you've learned some new spells or abilities, you then click on the little book here, or press P on your keyboard. And you'll see how these are flashing. So we go to that. There's nothing new we've learnt there today, so we'll go to the next tab. Again, nothing new, we already have that ability. But look, there's something new here. Okay, now you'll notice how when I attempt to drag it, it brings up all these little tabs. Now, beginning, you'll just have these for this row. So you want to readjust it. Okay, that's what I want to look like. Alright, and here's another buff. So that if you put your mouse over it, it'll explain what they do. Okay, now I'd like to go a little bit more information about gear. So just bear with me and I'll jump on my other character. Okay, and here I am on one of my characters. I'll just show a few different bits of gear. Now, with items, they come in different colours, or titles will come in different colours. the lowest available is grey. Now grey tends to only be vendor trash, which means that if you have that in your bags, you sell it to a vendor. It's not worth much. The next colour title you'll be looking at is white. Now white tends to be useful. You could be linen cloth, for example, what I have highlighted here, or you can have gear, and white gear is mainly for lower levels. Now the next one up, we have green titles. Now green titles tend to be a little bit rarer, but still pretty common. You want to choose green over white, of course, depending on the item you're looking at. Green you should never sell to a vendor unless it's soul bound. Now I'll just quickly run through the definitions and explain what soul bound is. So if you have anything in your bag or you're wearing something and it states soul bound, like this does here, it means you can't give it to another player. You can only sell it to a vendor. And depending on the item, you may either find an item that states it's bind on equip. So once you put it on your character, it becomes soul bound, or bind on pickup, as in BOP. And as soon as you pick that item or loot that item from a corpse, it automatically becomes soul bound. And again, you can't give it to another player. Now, also there's some items that are bind to account, so you can change it between your characters on your account, but you can't give it to anybody else. And I'll show you those later. Now, so that's what we're looking at is green. Next one above that, you have blue titles. More rare, a little bit harder to find. If you find one of these outsides of an instance, pretty lucky. You will find them from here to here. From now and then, sorry. Okay, and the next one above that, you have purple. Now you'll find a lot of these items, purple items, in heroic dungeons when you get to level 70 or 80, but sometimes you're lucky enough to find a random mob will drop this, and they can be worth quite a bit. And most of them outside of instances tend to be bind on equip, and inside instances they'll be bind on pickup usually. Now I can't find anyone who has any orange items. That's pretty much one of the rarest items you can own. Not many players are lucky enough to own an orange piece, but if you do, well, good on you. That's pretty rare, very hard to come by. I don't own any orange pieces myself, so yeah, it's pretty much the rarest item you can get. And that's my little bit on items. Okay, and just to wrap this up, there's just two more things I'd like to tell you. Now, I've informed you about mobs, some of you know about killing them. You also have little critters. Now, critters are just basically game decoration. There's no need for them. You're not going to get any experience from killing them. You can get achievements involving them sometimes if you do a particular emote, and I'll cover that later. You get achievements for it, but that's about it. And the other thing is, up here, we have my experience bar. Usually, it's down here. Now, when it fills up, you go up a level. The way you fill this up is by killing mobs, or handing in quests, of course. And there's two different colours that the bar will come in. When it's purple, it's just normal experience, you just go on questing as usual. When it's blue, it means it's rested experience. And with it rested experience, you get double experience. So, when you kill a mob, double experience. Unfortunately, you don't get double experience for handing in quests, it's just for killing mobs. Anyway, that's it for the day, and I hope you enjoy.